draped over 2 kitchen chairs pulled close to the range overnight. Sitting on one of the chairs, she wiped her hand briskly over the soles of her bare feet before pulling long knitted stockings up her legs. She pulled the boys' tweed trousers, which she'd taken to wearing to keep the cold wind from freezing her nether regions, up her slim legs. She pushed her feet into her well-worn boys' work boots. "I'll have me first cup of tea before going any further." She washed her hands and face in cold water before taking the metal milk jug from the cold cupboard and putting it on the oilcloth-covered kitchen table. Then she selected a matching cup and saucer from the freestanding cupboard. With her first cup of tea inside her, she dropped the heavy coat onto a kitchen chair pulled close to the table. Shivering, she pulled a man's long-sleeved vest over her head and down her body. A long black skirt came next, over the tweed trousers. A youth's linen work shirt and a heavy knit jumper completed the outfit. She pushed the 2 chairs back under the kitchen table and poured another cup of tea. She felt guilty taking the time to just sit sipping her tea. There was work and plenty of it to be done in the kitchen. She sighed and leaned over to take out the notebook she kept in one of the deep pockets of her coat. She'd packed her pram the night before. It was sitting waiting for her in one of the 4 sheds that ran along her garden wall. She wanted to make a note of the people she needed to visit this morning. No point in running around Smithfield Market like a headless chicken. "I hate to offer Sally those 2 lace dresses." Sally, a stallholder at the market, and her daughters, would use the material in the dresses to produce collars and cuffs to smarten up worn dresses. There was money to be made there. "I haven't the time to alter them myself, but I won't let her have them unless I can get a good price." Ivy was finding it difficult to stay on top of her business. She'd only 2 hands. When she'd lived alone, she'd had nothing but time. As a married woman, time was something she never seemed to have enough of. Her husband, a man in a million, wanted to spend time with her. Jem liked to take her out in the town, and she'd be lying if she said she didn't enjoy their outings. "I've all those shoes that need cleaning. I'll not sell them on dusty." She pushed to her feet to fetch another cup of tea. "I'm annoying meself with me moaning. It's time to get on the road, Ivy, and stop your bloody complaining. There's many a one would swap places with you." She stood and carried her cup and saucer over to the sink. She pulled on the old overcoat, pushing her keys and notebook into the deep pockets. She took her black knitted shawl from the hook at the back of the kitchen door, pulling it over her shoulders. She blew out the gas lamps and stood for a moment, checking by the light from the fire she'd left blazing for Jem that she'd left everything in order. "The place needs a good going over," she remarked. "Still, I've only the 1 pair of hands. It'll have to wait." She pulled the kitchen door open and stepped out into the freezing cold, dark Dublin morning. She navigated her way by feel down to the shed nearest to the door that led from the garden into the lane that ran along the back of the terrace. She unlocked the shed, grabbed her laden pram by the handle, and pulled it out before locking the shed door again. "I feel like a prison warden with all these bloody locks," she muttered, unlocking the wooden door in the brick wall. She pushed her pram through, stepped out, and locked the door at her back. She pushed the pram at speed around the side of the house towards the gas lamp lit, square, cobbled courtyard of the lane. "Watch it!" a male voice barked. Her pram was brought to a sudden halt. "You'll run someone over." "Name of God, Mike Connolly, you nearly gave me a heart attack." Ivy stared at the well-set-up young man holding her pram in place. "I thought I'd be the only sinner out and about at this hour of the morning." "You're not usually out and about this early yourself, Mrs. Ryan." Una Connolly was standing at her brother's side, so wrapped up in odd bits of clothing only her eyes were showing. "I've things to do." Ivy turned her pram in the direction of the Stevens Lane exit.